Hello, everybody. Dreadhead Kev. What's up? Welcome to the live reaction of Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. What a show today, right? Seriously. Hey, Tamarius. Hello, Mr. E. What'd you guys think? Star-studded show today. Oh, yeah. This is my Memphis Redbirds cap. You know I got to represent. Today, Memphis 901 FC plays. Memphis Grizzlies fighting for a playoff berth. Championship Wrestling with nationally known superstars all over the show today, from the referees to the broadcasters. Ja Mode, what's up? Joe, how are you? Thank you. Yep, Memphis Redbirds. Unfortunately, they're not playing this season, but hopefully next year. James says, great show. Thank you, brother. Tamarius, that was a good show today. Oh, man, next week is Championship Saturday, where we have 3 NWA championships on the line. And that's fresh off of the heels of the big announcement that United Wrestling Network Primetime Live is tag teaming with the NWA for a brand new weekly live television program that's going to be on pay-per-view. It premieres on Tuesday, September 15th. That's going to be awesome. We're getting you ready for that with those title matches next week. The 10 pounds of gold will be defended in a never-before-seen match next week on this program. Dreadhead says, ready for the 20th. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jamode. Sounds very cool. So, yeah, we announced today that we are doing a very limited event in Memphis, Tennessee at Growlers in Memphis. That's in Midtown. All the details are at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. Very limited tickets, like less than 25 tickets available for this event, so we can be socially distanced, so we can be safe, and also so we can pay tribute to the career and legacy of superstar Bill Dundee. There's going to be a special Q&A that I'm going to host with the superstar, where fans are going to be able to ask whatever they want to Superstar, and then we're going to watch his unreleased movie. Now, the movie was supposed to be released this year, but it was postponed due to the pandemic. But we get to watch his movie for the first time ever with Superstar Bill Dundee at that event. So championshipwrestlingmemphis.com, you can get all the details, and also you can get those tickets. Ja Mode says, my favorite wrestler is Heather Monroe. Shout out to Heather Monroe. She did a great job on AEW Dynamite and prove that she is the Killer Bay of Championship Wrestling. So we'll be seeing her on the program coming up. Actually, next week, she's going to be in a never-before-seen NWA Women's Championship match. And what I mean by never-before-seen is it's never before been seen on this program. So she's in action next week. But shout out to her for being on AEW Dynamite. I was looking for Houston Body. Man, good stuff. Dreadhead says right before his birthday, well, you better be in attendance taking pictures. You've known about this event, brother. So letting the cat out of the bag a little bit. Early birthday present says wrestling with MMA. Jake says, how are you doing today? He's doing great. I'm doing great. What a show. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That crowd on the main event was a little rambunctious, don't you think? Lots of muting and bleeping of their chants. Destiny says, what an intimate celebration of the legend. Yeah, you know, Superstar, he wanted to do this event. He's been stuck in the house. You know, he hasn't been out very much. And also due to his age, we don't know when we'll be able to do this event again. And, you know, we've got to be extra safe. So very few tickets. So anybody that has a problem with wearing a mask or having temperature checked, just hold off to the next event, because this one we have to be extremely strict and follow all the guidelines. And a big thanks to Growlers in Memphis for supporting Championship Wrestling and wanting to have myself and Bill Dundee and all the fans to come out. They actually have a full menu, so you guys come hungry so you can eat some of their great food. Joe says she was on Wednesday. Yeah, Dynamite. Heather Monroe. That's awesome. And also Scorpio Sky on the show today. He had a big showdown with Cody on Wednesday. And I was pulling really hard. I'm a fan of Cody, but Scorpio Sky, man, I got your back, brother. Mr. E says Anthony Idol versus Mr. Nick Aldis for the 10 pounds of gold. You absolutely could see that, Mr. E. John Mode says, you are my favorite fan. All right. I only got to see the main event, says Jake. Jake, you have to go back because we had Candice LeRae in action. We had Allison Danger in action. Bailey, known as Davina Rose, was in action. And, of course, a big ladder match for the United TV title from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood's 100th episode. Willie Mack versus Scorpio Sky. You've got to go back. And be sure to have the chat on so that way any of your comments, we'll all get them and we'll be able to see them and respond to them. Jonathan says, goes by too fast. That is why we are the fastest hour in professional wrestling, man. Oh, man, it's like it goes by just like that and leaves us wanting more. So tune in next week at high noon on Championship Wrestling, presented by Pro Shingle. Tamaria says, in the words of Braun Strowman, Austin Body will get these hands. He might have gotten those hands on Wednesday, that's for sure. Joe says he would love to see that. Dreadhead, loved Bill a lot. Great memories with Bill, even some with Dustin and Bill. I remember at the casino exactly what you're talking about. That's probably a story that we're not going to tell at a Superstar tribute. What do you think, Maria? No, not telling that story. That's one of those we keep to ourselves. Sky will get a title run, only a matter of time, says Joe. I do think, now mark my words right here, right now, Scorpio Sky is a future world champion. Remember it. August 15th, 2020. I said it. He will be. Mr. E says Bailey is awesome. Always great. Yeah, it was great to see like a young Bailey before she was even known as Bailey. Now she's held the WWE Women's Championship on SmackDown for a year, hasn't it? Hasn't it been a year? She's killing it. So it was great to have her on the program. Tamaria says, when is the date of the event? That is going to be Sunday, September 20th. It's a daytime event, so we can get you in and out. That way, if you have kids that go to school or if you go to school yourself, whatever the case may be, work, whatever, we'll get you in and out of there. It's going to be a special Q&A with the Superstar. And then also we're going to watch his unreleased movie, Screecher. So get all the details, Tamarius, at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. Right at the top of the screen, there's the big graphic that says Superstar. Click on that. It's going to take you to the Eventbrite, and you can purchase your tickets there if you're interested. John Mode said, did you see SmackDown last night? It is on my DVR. I have not watched it yet, but I saw Braun Strowman. Apparently has a new look and maybe a new attitude as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen it yet. Dreadhead says there's a lot of those stories. Yeah, there are a lot of great stories. You guys might not know that Superstar Bill Dundee was on Jerry Springer's show several years back with his son, Jamie Dundee. So that's one I want to ask about. I've never talked to him about his appearances on the Jerry Springer show. And, you know, Jerry Springer is on CW30 in Memphis, so there's kind of a tie-in there. We'll definitely ask him about that. I've got a ton of questions. Even if the fans in attendance don't have questions, I could talk to Superstar Bill Dundee about pro wrestling and his history all day long. Joe says, I would have died if Bobby showed up on Dynamite with Heather. That would have been great. So a little peek behind the curtain, when myself and my Maria were trying to put together the birthday bash, we wanted Heather Monroe to be here, but there was no way we were booking her without Houston Body because we think he's that important to the show and being in Heather's corner. So that would have been great to see Houston ringside. I think they come as a package. Let's see. Dreadhead, Nick lost to Global Force champion Dustin Starr. I did. I beat. Now, this is true. Go to 5-Star Fan Cam on YouTube or just type in Nick Aldis versus Dustin Starr. I pinned Nick Aldis for the Global Force Wrestling Heavyweight Championship until his wife, Mickie James, had to butt her nose into it. And, of course, there were some shenanigans, but it was brought up over on Twitter about who should challenge Nick Aldis for the 10 pounds of gold. And I've stayed in shape, guys. I am ready. I would love to bring the 10 pounds of gold back to Memphis, Tennessee. So who knows? You never know what could happen. Did you guys hear the big announcement of United Wrestling Network Primetime Live? Man, I've got a special interview with David Marquez that drops on Monday's Championship Wrestling podcast presented by Be Free CBD. I ask him all the questions. How much does it cost? When does it premiere? Who are we going to see? I ask him all those questions, and he gives us as many answers as he possibly can. That's noon right here on YouTube, or you can just listen to the audio at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. But that's a huge announcement. I mean, WWE is live, AEW is live, and that's it. And now the United Wrestling Network, along with the NWA, is going to be live every Tuesday night. Joe says he'll watch it tonight. Dreadhead says, I want the shirt and mask. Yes, so these VIP tickets, there's 3 levels. There's general admission. There's VIP that comes with a custom Superstar Bill Dundee face mask. And then also there's another package that gives you a custom Superstar Bill Dundee face mask and an unreleased limited edition Bill Dundee a tribute to Superstar t-shirt. So check those out. That's championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. Mr. E says, so just when I thought Maria couldn't get any lovelier, listen to this, Maria. When they thought you couldn't get any lovelier, she goes and proves me wrong. She is glowing, that's for sure. You should see her in the sun. She's glowing red right about now. Dreadhead says, I want to hear some ribs. Oh, man. So remember the story you told us about Jerry Lee Lewis and him ribbing Elvis Presley at Graceland? Might have to get that story. And hopefully we'll get some highlights. That way we'll feature this on the television program for those of you who are out of the market and can't be there live. Like I know Destiny, she would love to be there. But living in California, it's a tough trip to make just to come, for a quick event. John Mode says, I live in Long Beach, California. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, man. You guys will have to check out Championship Wrestling from Hollywood tomorrow on Fight TV. It's free, and their show is completely different than our show. The matches and everything are completely different. Let me see. Let me get caught up, you guys. Mr. E, thoughts on Raw Underground? Shayna was outstanding. I actually like Raw Underground. I don't hate it yet. I just think that it needs to do something special for somebody. So I'm waiting to see what that's going to be. And Shayna did look good. I would rather her just beat one girl up instead of all 3. That kind of, I don't know, is a little weird, especially if you're trying to make it like a kind of a shoot. But I thought Ziggler looked awesome on Raw Underground. I thought that the Viking Raiders looked as legit and mean as ever instead of those silly gimmicks that they've been doing. Destiny says, wait, what? Bill Dundee, 76, almost 77 years old. Yeah. Superstar Bill Dundee. This is going to be a real special event. Never been done before and probably will never be done again. Jonathan says, the first time I attended professional wrestling in Blytheville, Arkansas, the main event was Superstar Bill Dundee and Big Bad John, the Bicentennial Baby, versus Don and Al Green. There's some names that you don't hear every day. Shout out to Jones Boogie. The Earl Bell Community Center was awesome. There's a great match between myself and Bill, and my Maria gets all over Bill Dundee in this match. That's on 5-Star Fan Cam as well. It was just a couple of years ago, packed house. It was awesome. Go check that one out. Willie Bowen says, I'm so happy that NWA is part of the United Wrestling Network. I thought it was only a matter of time. Before this happened, especially with Dave Marquez's long-standing history and working with the NWA. I didn't know it was going to happen, but I could totally see it happening. And it will be great. So you guys support it if you can. Primetime Live sounds very cool. It does. And in prime time, can't beat that. I believe it's 8 Eastern, 7 Central. But all those details will be on the podcast on Monday. Jamode, it's Dustin. He says, what channel? What channel what? Fight TV is where you can watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. That dad beard, no, it's just a little scruff. I'm on a little trip, so I had to grow a little bit of scruff here. Wear the hat. Can't grow a beard, man. You know that. Mystery says, any Elvis wrestling story is a good one. Yeah, Bill definitely has some good ones involving Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis Presley. Ken Shamrock making waves, trying to get involved in Underground. I am here for it. Ken Shamrock should have been a world champion in WWE, and somehow they just missed the boat on him. Mystery says maybe a separate show for Raw Underground. Could be. I like the Hurt Business on Raw Underground. Me too. Bobby Lashley is a beast for real. John Mode says, tell your wife, Maria, hello, and tell her that she's a big fan. John Mode is a big fan of yours, Maria.
Thanks, John Mode.
She says, thanks.
What's her username mean?
Yeah, what does Ja Mode mean? Is that just your name, Ja Mode Manning? Am I saying that right? Help me out here. Let's see what else. Let me get caught up. Destiny, speaking of UWN podcast, EJ Sparks was talking, and you know who chimed in? Ray Rosas. Man, he's always on talking his usual smack. Ray Rosas. You know, something's coming to Ray Rosas at some point. Unfortunately, it seems like the pandemic has saved Ray Rosas, but there's one thing for sure is that's not something that I forget. So I will always remember that. And you know when he least expects it. You know how that works. You better not get comfortable. And you know he's got the PP3 Cup. So with Championship Wrestling returning to live taping next week, and those shows will air in September, there's no telling what we might see. He's got to be like anxious to cash in, right? Tamaria says, what was the first match you ever competed in and who was it against? I wrestled Jet Logan in Arkansas in the year 2010, I believe.
I was 10.
Maria was 10 years old, and I won. How about that? And Jet Logan went on to be on Memphis Wrestling. He was live, just a real big dude. I was just a kid, man, probably 16 years old. Mystery says, Willie Bowen, loyal NWA fan. I think we all are. Dreaded says, I met Dan Severn. He's still got it. Dan Severn just never was able to get over in the WWE, but man, he is a BA. Don't know how I feel about the big guy that crushed that guy's crutch barehanded on Raw Underground. Yeah, I don't know if that should be against the rules, should it? Willie says Dave Marquez and Billy Corgan, the biggest geniuses in pro wrestling. They are definitely tag teaming. They're definitely tag teaming for this. Now, that doesn't mean that NWA Power goes away. NWA Power will still be producing television once they get back. But the NWA brand is like so unique in the sense that the fans really make the show. I mean, they are die-hard wrestling fans. So I think they're waiting for the perfect time to bring NWA Power back. Mystery says pre-cooked bacon is addictive.
What?
I don't know where that came from. Pre-cooked bacon? You don't like that?
No.
Maria says she doesn't like it. I don't know if I've ever had bacon that I didn't like. Kurt says, check out the trailer for You Cannot Kill David Arquette. Lots of CW footage when he fought RJ City. I was there at the taping. Kurt, next week we're going to have the trailer. I'm also kind of in communication or at the beginning of communication with David Arquette to bring him to Memphis, Tennessee. That's just an exclusive right here for you guys. Shamrock would have been perfect for starting underground. Yeah, especially since he's on Impact. You can get a hat like this at memphisredbirds.com. They'll ship it directly to your front door. Let's see. Jonathan, one Saturday morning, Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee were busting bags of flour over each other's head at Channel 13, and the TV camera exhaust fans sucked up flour, canceling TV news that day. Oh, no. I didn't hear that story, Jonathan. We'll have to ask Bill about it. Dredd says, Dustin, will you do a watch along again? Yeah, we need to put out a poll. You guys pick a match and we'll watch it and talk about it. That would be cool. Says you need to fight Ray Rosas. Ray Rosas does not want any part of what I got for him. Tamaria says Billy Gunn should stop wrestling. He's too old. I think Billy Gunn is in better shape and works better than most of the guys on the roster anywhere you go. So I don't know that I agree with that. He is getting old, but we all are. I think he's awesome. Dustin Starr versus William Patrick Corgan. Believe me, Billy, with all due respect, Billy Corgan does not ever want to step in the ring with me. That would be a very bad idea. I would take Smashing Pumpkins to a whole new level. This one says, Willie says, Maria versus Heather Monroe.
I'm a wrestler.
Yeah, Maria's not a wrestler. So I think you'd have a better chance of seeing her versus Halston Body, though, right?
Yeah.
There are no rules in Raw Underground. That's true. Monkey says, don't bring Jamie Iovine. Oh, man. Now that you mentioned Jamie Iovine, he was chasing after Ice Williams. He was trying to recruit him. The upper class has gone under. So I would keep an eye on that. I would think that there's a new stable in the works just based off of seeing Jamie in the last couple of episodes of Championship Wrestling. John Mode says, you think Championship Wrestling from Hollywood will be linked up with the WWE? No, I don't think so. I do know that there had been conversations previously. I'm not sure where they went, but I think Championship Wrestling, United Wrestling Network, and the NWA have a really good thing going on by themselves. I don't know why that they would want to have anyone else involved. Now, you will also see wrestlers from all over the place, different various promotions getting their opportunity on United Wrestling Primetime Live, from what I understand. Dreadhead says, Dustin, do you ever sleep? I know the answer to this. You always stay busy. Oh.
It's been a lot. You've gotten a little bit more sleep since the pandemic started.
Maria says, I've gotten a little more sleep since the pandemic started. But, yeah, I'll sleep later, man. No time for that. Yeah, who got time for that? Joe says, Billy Gunn is a beast. Yeah, I agree. Man, if you step in the ring with Billy Gunn, he's about 6'5", 250, 270 pounds. You're not going to push that dude around. I don't care who you are. Mr. E says, watch along called Dustin's Dust Up. You choose 3 matches we pick from and then do the watch along. That's actually a good idea. 3 matches. We can do a poll. Where should I put the poll, though? Is it Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or right here on YouTube? So I'm definitely down for a watch along. Yeah, I wrestled Billy Gunn twice. And of course, I won those matches, right, Dreadhead? You can catch those on 5-Star Fan Cam as well. Kurt says, Maria may not wrestle, but she's your tag team partner in life. You guys rock. That's right. Oh, yeah. So I do the butt kicking, and she's got my back. Howdy versus Houston.
What?
That's money. Houston Body versus Howdy Price. Wow, that's
It don't make any sense.
well, I don't know. We can try to make it make sense. I want to see them both get beat up. Dreadhead says they don't need WWE. They're better than WWE. I appreciate it. We love all wrestling, man. I watch every single bit that I can. Scorpio Sky versus Aaron Stevens. Well, stay tuned to the podcast on Monday. David Marquez is going to talk about that. He's going to talk about Aaron Stevens. John Mode, I never received Championship Wrestling from Hollywood in person, only the WWE when they was at Staples Center. Well, once fans are allowed back in the building for our tapings, you can go see that live for free. Mr. E says, get sleep now before the little star gets here. No, I'm warming up for it because I know I'm not going to get any sleep when baby star is here. So I'm getting my practice in. So I'm seeing Twitter, YouTube. Jake, thank you for tweeting out the stream. Everybody hit the like button and share if you can, because that helps, get us more eyeballs on us. And if you've noticed, we made some changes to our YouTube channel here recently just to try to make it be a little bit more convenient to find the matches that you like and to find that content that matches what you're currently watching. John Mode says, speaking of Ice Williams, he's from Long Beach, California. Yep, he is. Monkey, didn't Maria slap Billy Gunn? Oh, yeah, and she loved slapping Billy Gunn, let me tell you. Joe says, great idea, Mr. E. We should do a poll on Facebook or YouTube channel. We absolutely can do that. That's a good idea. Now, would you want that to be matches that I'm in, or would you want that to be other matches that have been on Championship Wrestling? That's the question there.
I think Billy Gunn liked it more than I did.
Yeah, Maria says that she thinks Billy Gunn actually liked the slap more than she did. We know Jerry Lawler does. Howdy would win, says Tamarius. It would be fun. Howdy versus Houston would be legendary. And Jonathan, you're right. It's my lovely Maria. We got to correct that. Just do it on all. Yeah, we can just post the poll on all of them. Would it be daytime or would it be nighttime? That's the thing, is it's always been, well, you should have done it on daytime. Oh, you should have done it on nighttime. Tamari says, I kind of hate Scorpio Sky lost on Dynamite this past Wednesday. I do too. I was pulling for him. I think what I was expecting, though, is to give Scorpio something to come back to. But instead, they went with Brody versus Cody, and they built that, and it just kind of put Scorpio by the wayside. And I really would have liked to have seen something to where it gave Scorpio something moving forward instead of just being beaten. But just like I tell you guys every week, I'm gonna wait and see what they do before I, complain about it, I guess. But I was pulling hard for Scorpio. Willie says, Eli Drake, yeah, and James Storm versus the Wolf Zaddies. You're actually going to see Cowboy James Storm on the show next week. It's Championship Saturday, and I can't wait to see the Wolf Zaddies, man. You got to think the Wolf Zaddies are going to be the next tag team champions. They're undefeated. They're at least looking for it. Mystery says, any matches? Okay. Mystery says, Lawler joke popped me. It's true. It's true. Lawler likes being slapped by my Maria more than I do, I guess. It's the lovely Maria, says Jonathan. Maria is super over. She's over with you guys, that's for sure. When your baby grows up, you're going to train him as a wrestler. After college, if they want to, after college. Actually, Brady has no interest in being a professional wrestler. And he used to ask me, hey, Dad, when I grow up, are you still going to be a wrestler? I'm like, probably not, brother. Dreadhead says, have you tried to find the AEW figures? No, I heard they're sold out all over the place, which is really good news for AEW. They are killing it right now. Yeah, I've beaten James Storm a couple of times. Actually, there's a funny story. This match is on 5-Star Fan Cam on YouTube as well. I'm going to type that in here. So 5-Star Fan Cam. You got to go check that out. Wrestled James Storm, and he was drinking beer on the way to the ring, and Maria went to put the boots to him to help me out a little bit on the floor and slipped in his beer and busted her butt. It's funny now looking back on it. She's like, yeah, whatever.
The hay one was funnier.
Says,
jumped out of the ring.
Oh, man, yeah, we had a fan reach out and grab Maria by the hair during a match with me and James Storm, and that didn't work out so well for that dude. I was there in a heartbeat. Send you an autographed picture of you and Maria. Hey, Job Mode, go to championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. Scroll to the very bottom. You'll see our P.O. box. If you'll send us a message and with a self-addressed stamped envelope, we'll send you something. I'll be out there in just a moment. So my Maria is calling for me, so I've got a couple more minutes on here. Thank you guys man, this is so cool. I love answering your questions. We're not out and about and live that much, and don't get to see anybody. So it's always cool to catch up with you guys. And I appreciate you all for watching the program and enjoying it. That's super cool. And I can't wait until the other side of this pandemic where we can bring you something that nobody ever thought was going to happen. And it's going to happen in Memphis, Tennessee again. All right, let's see. Jonathan said it's Dustin 5-star. That's exactly right. Put 5 in the sky, baby. Antonio said, if you had a shot at the NWA World title, would you take it? Yes. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. David Marquez actually mentions that to me in our interview on Monday. So it's not out of the question. And what better place to have the NWA 10 pounds of gold than in Memphis, Tennessee, the wrestling capital of the world, the home of rhythm and brews. Yeah, so I would absolutely take it. And, man, I would train my butt off for that. I have a funny pic of him and you. Oh, gosh. You ever drink with Cowboy James Storm? Absolutely. Man, me and Cowboy go way, way back. Love the guy. He can drink you under the table, though. That's for sure. No doubt about it. The Dreadhead says, I have a pic of that, too. Is Anchors Away still on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood roster? Who are they individually? Because that tag team is no longer, but maybe they're working specifically or individually. Monkey says, I see people posting AEW figures when posting Masters of the Universe finds in Texas. I love Masters of the Universe. I'm a big He-Man fan, He-Man and Skeletor. And I am a fan of the AEW figures too, and I would probably buy the ones that I've interacted with or that I've worked with, like Cody and Brandy. I'd have to get those figures because we've interviewed them. We've been special guests backstage at AEW. They were extremely cool. And I do believe that there are opportunities down the line in AEW, not only for myself, but for many of the independent talent out there. So Joe says, we appreciate everything you're doing, brother. Man, I appreciate that. Thank you, man. John Mode says, do you, Scorpio Sky, fought before? Tell Scorpio Sky said hello. I have not fought Scorpio Sky, but Scorpio and I, it's hard to say that we're friends because we don't see each other that much. But definitely when we're in the same room and we see each other or on Twitter or social media or what have you, we're definitely familiar with each other and have a really good rapport. I would love to see Scorpio Sky in Memphis, Tennessee at one of our live events, and that could absolutely happen too. So Mystery says, you rock over at CW30, Dreadhead, and the Stars. Man, Championship Wrestling has helped, and us hosting is just a real pleasure. That now we're number one in the market, number one in the nation as far as CW stations. And, the CW is all over the place. And so for us to be number one and to be the hosts of the CW30 network it's awesome. It's really, really cool. Got a couple of more minutes here, guys. You guys are hitting me with these questions. I love it. David says, how is pro wrestling going to survive the pandemic? Just like it has. AEW has survived and prospered. WWE is finally kind of getting there. Now they're in the Amway Center. Championship Wrestling is going to record without an audience. And so that's why we need you guys more than ever and our sponsors more than ever, because we're not done. We're not done. The pandemic's not going to stop us. It's not going to last forever. So we have some really big stuff planned post-pandemic. Now, the Superstar Bill Dundee tribute is just a small step in the right direction for us. And that's one that we felt like we can do as safe as possible. But anytime you set up a ring somewhere, there's going to be fans all over the place. They don't worry about socially distancing. So we've got to kind of pace ourselves on that. Dreadhead says, I've got MJF figure coming. Love MJF. Me too, man. He came from Championship Wrestling as well. Tamarius says, if Watts went to WWE or AEW, who do you think would be a good match for him? I think AEW would probably be the better spot for him just because he's a unknown talent at this point. I think WWE would probably put him in developmental and all that kind of stuff. And he's done extra stuff for WWE and worked with them in the past. I actually think he's going to do really, really good at the United Wrestling Primetime Live. And that might help springboard him to, I hate to say bigger and better things, but as far as money-wise, we all know where the money is, the big money anyway. So I think that Watts is going to get a lot of exposure on that program, especially being the Heritage Champion. And those champions will be featured along with the NWA champions. Hey, Dreadhead, if you do find one, give me one. I'll pay you for it. I'll PayPal you or I'll Venmo you or whatever. Joe says, I would die if all you guys work for AEW. Hey, man, it's not out of the question. Yes, CW is huge in a lot of different markets. So for us to be number one in Memphis, that's awesome. Willie says, Dustin, you and Maria are awesome. Big plus for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're doing everything that we can, especially to give you guys something different, because I know a lot of you watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and we don't want to show you the same exact stuff all the time. So we always try to put our own flavor in there for you. Do you ever follow Honky Tonk Man? You mean follow him? I haven't heard from Honky Tonk Man in quite a while, but I know he's still out there. Antonio says, God got us, man. I believe that God does have us. Destiny says, super fun seeing you here, Dustin. Always love it when Maria chimes in too. Have a happy week ahead. Stay healthy, happy, positive energy. Thanks for this little bit of time together. Thank you, Destiny. I really appreciate you for joining. We feel like you're one of the biggest fans out there. And if there's something that you like or don't like, we do recognize that, especially because you're here every single week. Mystery says, I survived disco and everything since, so I'm not scared of COVID. Yeah. That's fun. You survived disco. All right, Dreadhead. I'll see you soon, brother. I know you'll be texting me soon. All right, well, that's going to wrap up the live chat here, guys. If you're interested in a superstar tribute, go check it out. ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com. We literally have less than 20 tickets available. This is not something where we need hundreds or 1,000 people. This is a very private, intimate setting at our new partners, Growlers. So you can follow them at Growlers901 on social media. There are a lot of things that we're going to do with Growlers and their partners. So stay tuned for that. It's all at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com. And then also August the 23rd, that's not tomorrow, but that's the following Sunday. We're going to have SummerSlam absolutely free. It's our watch party at Dave & Buster's in Memphis. I'm going to be giving out $10 gift certificates just for those of you who want to show up. So send me a DM if you want $10. It's on me. That's basically like buying your meal pretty much. But it's absolutely free at Dave & Buster's. And then we're going to have AEW All Out watch party at Dave & Buster's. And I believe the date is Saturday, September 5th. So that has not been announced yet. So we will announce that after SummerSlam. But I cannot wait because the AEW fans are absolutely rabid, especially when they come to Dave & Buster's and watch. Tamarius, thank you for joining me. Mr. E, same to you, brother. Dreadhead says you better go before you get Slap City. That's exactly right. Joe, awesome show and chat. Have a good rest of the weekend. You too. Thank you, Destiny. Willie, thank you. If you guys are watching this on delay or later on, if you have questions, go ahead and send those because we try to do our best job at answering every single one of the questions. Mystery says, Dave & Buster's watch along seemed like the place to be. Yes, and I can't tell you, I would love to be able to do those nationwide. So maybe one day that we'll be doing those all over the place instead of just right here in Memphis. So once again, check out ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com. Be sure to follow us at CW30 Wrestling. Monday, I talked to David Marquez, and I asked him all the questions that you guys have been asking me about United Wrestling Prime Time Live that premieres on Tuesday, September 15th. That's going to be tremendous. I hope I'm going to be a part of that program. That would be awesome. John Mode says if Watch went to WWE Raw, won more rings with AEW. I would love to see Watts versus Roman Reigns. Yeah, that would be awesome. But all right, guys, that's it for the live reaction. Love you guys. Thank you for all the support. And I will see you right here next week as we have Championship Saturday on Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. I'll see you on Monday, Joe. Thanks, everybody. Oh, yeah!